Man, okay, so the bidding war for BET just got even more interesting. A couple days ago, the news broke that instead of just another wealthy individual trying to, buy the majority ownership in BET stakes, which includes, VH1, instead of one individual person, we actually got three brothers pulling their resources together in order to buy BET. 50 Cent, Shaq, and Kenya Barris. So you have, you know, a legend in the music game, 50. And then you have from the sports athletic side, Shaq. And Kenya Barris is a director. So these three have decided to team up in order to try to buy BET. I mean, before this, it was, Tyler Perry. Then we had 50, I mean, not 50 Cent, sorry. You had Diddy. And the list goes on. Other notable directors and people in black entertainment. And it goes back to what Tyler Perry told ET a month or so ago about how, regardless of who gets BET, it's the excitement and the moment of, just the amazing moment that there are so many black people who can now throw their hat into the ring to buy BET, because before there were no black people who were able to, had the money to purchase BET a few years ago. So yeah, you got Tyler Perry, Byron Allen, Diddy, and the list goes on. So I am very intrigued. I mean, to be honest, I'm just sitting here like, wow, okay, this is getting it. I just sat up in my chair like, let's see how things are going to go. And I think, to me personally, this is probably one of the more interesting bids because it's not just one person. You had three people, three black men from different paths in the entertainment business. So they all have something viable to bring to the table. Like 50, he, instead of just music, he's become somewhat of a Tyler Perry in his own right, with his kind of like the mafia gangster universe on TV that's been doing numbers. And what was it like in 2021? At the end of the year, I looked at the TV ratings and whatnot, and if I remember correctly, all of 50 shows did better than all of Tyler Perry shows on BET. I mean, like, it wasn't just like 50 shows on BET, but it was in terms of black cable in general. And I could be wrong. I want to say the haves and the have-nots was like number one, but then after that it was all of 50 shows, and then below that was Sisters and the Oval, and Tyler Perry's other stuff on Viacom. Now, you can feel free to fact check me. I did a video way back when, like a couple years ago, so as you can imagine, it was a couple years ago, so my mind might be a bit fuzzy on it, but I do remember 50 shows just killing it. And it's like, damn, that just tells you right there what's going on. So with that being said, it will be interesting because, 50 could bring the musical side. I mean, not just the music side, but, his own television shows and whatnot to like BET, VH1 or whatever. And then he could possibly help revitalizing the musical aspect that made BET the, foundational platform it was for black entertainment. With Kenya Barris, being someone who knows about directing and whatnot, he can bring his own shows to these networks. And Shaq, he's a commentator on, what is it, Sports Network or something like that. I don't really follow sports, but I know he's on there. And not to mention, what was it, a couple months ago, he said on television during one of these sports shows that All the Queen's Men is his favorite show. So for people like, you know what, these people coming in trying to buy BET and whatnot, they're good, but Tyler Perry's the one who turned the network around, and he's the only one able to produce content at such a rate to, maintain these networks. So if one of these, or in this case, this group of people takes over, what will happen to Tyler Perry's stuff? And something tells me that if they do buy it, then I don't think that All the Queen's Men at least is going anywhere. And that's one of the biggest questions here. Whoever ends up the majority stake owner, what will that make of Tyler Perry content? It just seems like one of those things where I honestly don't think that there will be an immediate, and this is just my opinion, I don't think it will be an immediate shift, because despite someone else buying the platform, nobody pumps out content like Tyler Perry at the rate Tyler Perry does. So kind of like on the OWN network, we didn't see Tyler Perry directly cut off. It was like slowly but surely, one after another. First if I remember correctly, first the Pains, then If Loving You Is Wrong, then the Haves and the Have-Nots, then he was gone to Viacom. So in this case, I don't know if the same thing is going to happen where Tyler will slowly be phased out as other shows and whatnot are produced. But like I said, I feel like overall the platforms are big enough for everybody to thrive on. It's just that I don't know if we will see the overabundance of Tyler Perry content that we are seeing now. Because when you think about it, Tyler Perry, it's like, on the kids networks, if you watch, well, I mean, 9 times out of 10, if you turn to Cartoon Network during the day, what's on? Teen Titans Go. If you go to Nickelodeon at some point during the day, it's going to be SpongeBob. So that's kind of the same thing. You want to see a Tyler Perry. Remember when it was Baby Boy all the time? Baby Boy nonstop. Now it's like, oh, it's a Tyler Perry movie. Oh, it's an episode of the OG House of Pain. I think that's probably going to be phased out as, if, other people end up taking over BET. But like I said, this is interesting. It's cool to see 3 brothers putting their resources together to, throw their hat in the ring. And yeah, this is going to be cool. Regardless of who winds up with BET, I think it's safe to say it's going to be interesting nonetheless. So with that being said, thanks so much for tuning in. Like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one.